Hey guys, I'm coming today to talk about a movie I saw and a new haircut. What? I like my haircut. Leave me alone. What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, though, please consider supporting me and my channel by subscribing, leaving a like, and a comment down below in this video. But without any other further ado, let's talk about the Requiem. So, the Requiem comes from director Levon Keith. He's not a big-time director. It stars Alicia Silverstone, who a lot of you may know from Clueless and Batman and Robin, and it also stars James Chapper. Now, I'm gonna be as kind to this movie as I can be, but I have to say right off, didn't like this movie. Plot of this movie is that there's this couple, and they go out on a honeymoon thing, and when they go on their honeymoon, what happens is there's this storm that comes and washes away the villa they're in, and they get stranded at sea in the debris, and sharks come in the water, and they're trying to survive. And this movie, it's a big ripoff. It's a ripoff of a lot of other better films that have come out. It's like Jaws met Adrift, met a bunch of other movies, and they just put them all together into one and made a big knockoff and didn't do a good job at what they were knocking off either, for that matter. I think this movie, it's really short. I'm aware this movie was not theatrically released, at least as far as I know, it's not theatrically released. I watched this movie off of YouTube for $6.99, okay? And it's a premiere. That should tell you how kind of wacky this whole thing is. For a movie like this to just be, I think it's an hour and 29 minutes long, that's a short thriller. And that's another thing. This movie seems to have confused people as to what it is, because I looked on IMDb and it's listed as a thriller. I went to other websites, it's listed as horror, it's listed as drama, it's listed as action. I don't know what this movie really is. It's kind of confusing. But let me get over that. Let's talk about the actual film itself. Script, there isn't one. Okay, there is one, but it's lazy as heck, and I don't know what they were doing when they wrote it. It is there is no real plot to this movie. This movie has an idea, which is what if this happened? These people got stranded at sea, and after that, just things happen in the movie. And you just watch. You're just sitting there the entire movie. It's an hour and 29 minutes, but you feel like 2 hours. It's so increasingly boring, and there's so many tropes. And you're just sitting there the entire movie just because there's nothing here you haven't seen before done better. And that's just something, this movie is just so underwhelming. And I think they kind of knew that going in. Also, this film had a really cheap, low budget. It does not look very impressive at all. I mean, also, it looks really cheap considering the fact that all you had to do was film people at sea. Now, I'm all for practical effects and stuff. So realistically, all you have to do is just get someone out in the water with a raft. But this thing looks like they probably just had a pool with some green screens and some CGI, because that's all it looks like. Also, the performances. Alicia Silverstone is genuinely trying in this movie, and she's the only person that is. Everybody else has some of the worst performances I've seen in a long time. The direction for this movie is confusing. Everything about this movie, honestly, bored me to death. I know that I'm being really hard and beating down this movie, but I didn't like it. I mean, I can't find something to talk about. I mean, I wasn't even planning on reviewing this movie. It's just I have to review a movie this week, right? And I was looking at movies, and I was like, the Requiem, it's a premiere, it's $6.99 YouTube. They all do that, and I saw it, and I'm like, there's just nothing the film offers. There's no reason to go see this movie. In other words, there's no brand new take or anything entertaining or thrilling to see out of it. It's just there, and you'll probably pass your time. But your time will pass really slowly if you watch it. It just is it rips off movies. I mean, there are literally scenes this movie takes out of better films, literal rip-off scenes. There's a couple of Jaws knockoff scenes in here, and I'm like, no one was gonna see that. And it's just, I don't know, the music in this movie, just to talk about real quick, is okay at best. It's really low budget, really bad. Really sounds like that royalty-free music you get off of YouTube. Cinematography, not much there. The lighting, if you guys ever want to see a movie that's badly lit, watch this thing. It is horribly lit. And the editing in this movie is some of the worst, weirdest choices. It will go between some of the most rapid, jumpy cut editing where everything's just off the screen to the slowest, most weird editing choices I've ever seen. So basically, to wrap things up, this movie, it, it, it tried, but it's really not worth your time. I'm going to give this movie a 2 out of 10. This was just, it didn't need to exist. It didn't need to get made. And to be perfectly honest, it was kind of a waste of an hour and 30 minutes of my time. So that's all, guys. Sorry this review was so much of a beatdown in a movie. I hope to get you something better in the future. I'll be reviewing Moonfall coming up, so we'll see about that. Until next time, though, thanks.